Hey everybody, welcome to another Photoshop 101 class. This is organizing your photos. You should have probably already done the workspace setup for Photoshop. If you didn't, it's not a big deal. But let's move right into how we're going to organize our photos. Staying organized with all of these photos you're going to start to accumulate is going to be a really important discipline to get into before you really get going with your photography. When I started this 10 years ago, I had a system that worked for me. I have kept with that system, and now I have stayed somewhat organized as my creative right brain, big picture head can be. I do want to say that this is not, what I'm going to show you today is not the be all end all. There are other ways to save your images, but this is what works for me, and I thought it might be helpful to just share it with you. Now, if you are a Lightroom user, you will not do it this way. You will be saving your images in Lightroom. However, Lightroom is not what I primarily use. It is not what Keith uses, because we're going to get you to a place where you are post-processing at a very high level. In fact, I think within a short time you're going to be really surprised at what a high level you're actually photoshopping in. We always want to make sure our photos maintain the natural feel to them. We don't want them ever to look photoshopped or contrived. So I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is we want to make sure that you are storing well, and we're setting you up for where you're about ready to go. The first thing that I do when I am organizing my photos is I will plug my ScanDisk card from my computer or from my camera into my computer. From there, I work on a Mac, so this is going to be Mac applicable. I work on a Mac, and I have an external drive. What happens is, and this is my external drive over here, the cameras that we're using today make such huge files that the problem is it can really slow down your computer if you don't have a robust computer. What I would recommend is you're going to probably want to get an external drive from Walmart or Amazon that's anywhere between 1 to 3 terabytes or larger, and you're going to want to store your images there. So as you can see, I've got TIFF's external, and here's all of my trips. So you can see we did Banff June 2015, 16, 17, and I've done winter in 2017. Now I was using two different cameras. I was using a Nikon and a Fujifilm. So I have two folders here for Banff Winter 2017 and Banff Winter Fujifilm 2017. And that's the way that I store these. This is going to be really important. So let's just say that I had just gotten back from my Banff trip. I'm going to go to the 2016 file. As you can see, here's all of my images right here located. So genuinely what I'll do is I will go back, I'll create a thumbnail, I'll look at all my images, and I'll say, okay, which one is really speaking to me? Okay, I really like this one. I'm going to select it on my Mac. I'm going to hit the space bar, and that will show me the preview so I can see whether or not I want to work on that one. This is taking a long time to come up because it is a raw file. So I really like this image, and so I think what I'll do is I'll work on that image, and that's what I'm going to do. I'll then open it by right-clicking and going into Photoshop. We're going to do that in a different course. We're not going to do that today, but this gives you a taste of where we're headed. What I want you to do, though, is I want you to be mindful about where you're going to place your images in the folders you'll create them. I really enjoy having the years. I like to know, one, how I've progressed in my photography from 15 to 16 to 17. And then the other thing is I really enjoy having these separated by location. So when I need to reference a photo, I can go back and say, okay, I need a picture from Charleston. Let me go see if I can find one. So because I live in Charleston, or a place I frequent often, I'll often put spring, summer, fall, winter, so that I can then have an idea about what time of year that was as well. As you can see, I've got Charleston Spring 2016. That's going to be the first thing you're going to want to do. So let's talk about other files that you need to create. The other file that you're going to want to create, this is going to be where all of your raw files go. We're going to talk more about raw versus JPEG, but all your raw files should go from your trip into your one folder. Now, as you start working through your files, let's say you created that image that we just looked at, and now you're ready, you're finished with it, it's processed, you're ready to save it. Well, look down here. I've got a couple portfolio albums. Now, you're not going to have as many as I do, but we do want you to have, very likely, I'm going to say probably 3. So the first one we'll have is your portfolio with your watermark. In a different class, I'm going to show you how to make a watermark, or you can buy one. It's entirely up to you. I can give you some places that you can go to do that. But you need to watermark your images. It's really important. And honestly, you want to make sure that it's a beautiful watermark because it'll speak to how professional you are with your photography. So you'll make a portfolio file just by going right-clicking, and you can go, oh, I apologize, let's go up here. You're going to go up here on a Mac to New Folder, and then you'll create a folder and you'll call it Portfolio, dash, and then your watermark. That would be a great way to say it. Now, the other one I want you to have is the raw files. So you can put portfolio / or dash raw. This will be the place where I want you to store your files that have not been compressed or watermarked. So they have all of their layers. That doesn't make sense right now, but go ahead and do it and just trust me on this one. So we should have portfolio / watermarked, portfolio / raw. Those are the 2 files you should have already. The other one that I would like you to do is portfolio / no logo. Now, why would you use no logo? You're going to want high res files for sometimes. For example, one of our regular students just submitted an image to the North American Nature's Photography Association and won. Good for him. And he needed to send in a high res file without his watermark. Well, that would be, he would go and pull his from there. It is going to be really important to have a watermarked photo, non-watermarked photo, and then also to have your raw images. So go ahead and set those 3 up. Now don't worry if you don't have a lot of files here like I do. You are going to grow those and you're going to want them to be very clear as you're growing. This is your starting foundation for organizing your files. So this is how it's going to go. If you have questions on this, you can post in the comments below the class. There will not be a quiz to take at the end of this course. There is just, I would just like to have you go ahead and get your files in there and get them set up so that you are ready to go.